Now, we're going to be talking about dedication and what that means. And so I thought I'd just start off with a definition of what dedication is. So dedication, when used as a noun, can be defined as the quality of being dedicated to or committed to a task or purpose. So for all of us, we've been dedicated to different things. So if you're a senior in the room, you guys have been dedicated to something. And I'm going to give a random number. It's going to make sense in a second. 9,600 minutes. Now that's equivalent to 160 hours or 6.7 days. That's how long you guys have been sitting in those chairs listening to somebody on this stage. Now, that might just mean you guys just sat there on your phone, you just pull out your phone, scroll through Instagram, whatever. But you guys have been dedicated to fulfilling that chapel requirement. You guys have sat here and listened to somebody speak, whether you want to or not. But there's also other things that we can be dedicated to. So for the athletes, it could be shooting that basket. I don't know how to shoot basketball or shoot baskets, but something like that. So you might be trying to get that game-winning shot. Might be committed to fine arts. Also might be academics, getting the best grade possible, or even trying to graduate at this point. That's coming from my heart. Could be video games, social media, or even an unhealthy social life. Now, we're all dedicated to all of these things, and all of these plates that we have of different areas in our life are spinning. Now, there are times in our lives where we have to sometimes spin that plate a little faster. So for right now, it's coming to be finals week, so we have to sometimes dedicate more of our time to academics. So right now, I'm like working on my capstone. I'm putting a lot of time into that, so I have to dedicate a lot of my time to that assignment. Now, I know everybody around me is stressed, and so am I. But oftentimes, what happens is we dedicate ourselves so many times to so many different things. I mean, finals are coming up, and somehow all of our big projects and big papers somehow, and I quote unquote, somehow, end up to be on the same day. I mean, everybody can agree to this. Somehow it's always April 20th, April 24th is always that big day where all of our assignments are coming. That dread is there. We're so nervous about that thing. And it might be hard to keep going. It might be hard for you guys to even be here right now. You might be thinking, I just don't want to be here. I got so much other stuff going on. I have so much other things I need to be doing, but I got to fulfill that chapel requirement. I guess I'm here. Which is honestly how I felt in the past. But while we're getting pulled in so many different directions, we have so many different plates spinning around. So if we go to the first slide, so I spent about 45 minutes of my life drawing this. So I'm really proud of this thing. So I spent 45 minutes, thank you. Obviously you guys can tell that I am an art major, so I spent so much time onto this. So this is me. Oh, okay. So, okay, I guess, are we good? Oh, hey. Okay, wow. So, that, wherever that photo just was, so that, insert you. Photo. Back to the photo, please. So, well, anyway, there was that photo. There we go. There it is. So, that photo is you. You guys are spinning plates, and it might just be school and work. And as we go to the next photo, right, there we go, look at that. As we go to the next photo, you add more things. You add more plates to your life. And as we go to the final photo, there we go, look at that thing. So as you see, we're adding more plates to our lives. As you see, he's sweating up a storm, he's blushing, he's got so much work going on. And as we're spinning all of these plates, we oftentimes have to run over here and we're spinning this plate so fast. And then we run over here and we're spinning that plate. And oftentimes what happens is sooner or later, we drop a plate. So now that I have your attention, let's go to my first point, which is, boom, right now. Okay, so the first point is failure is fine. Now, society will tell you failure is not fine. You have to be perfect. You have to do everything right. You can't fail at all. And that's what society has taught us. And as we're here, and as we drop this plate that we're spinning, we oftentimes get frustrated at ourselves. And there's so many emotions that accompany when we drop that plate. As you see, it's right there on the ground. There's so many different emotions that can accompany that. It could be frustration, sadness, anger, shame, humiliation, or even guilt. I mean, not only was those plates my dishware for the night, so I have to go clean those, but that was my responsibility to keep those plates spinning, to keep those plates from crashing on the ground. Now, it implies from this analogy, we're so mad at ourselves for when we're spinning these plates. This oftentimes can be seen as prideful. We often are so dedicated to spinning those plates. We're trying to keep those plates from spinning and from dropping on the ground. That when we drop this plate, there's so many emotions, like I said, that come. And once this plate is dropped and all of those pieces are shattered on the ground, sometimes we're too tired, too frustrated or upset to pick up those pieces. We oftentimes don't even know what to do, and in that moment, we will yell out to God and be like, God, why'd you make me drop this plate? That was not only my dishware, but that was also the plate of my relationships with my friends. That plate was my relationship with you. That plate was my academics. That plate was X, Y, or Z. Now, oftentimes, when we yell out to God and we get frustrated with him, that doesn't get us anywhere. So I want to read off a couple verses. So I want to go to my first voice that you guys can read on the slide. Boom, watch that. Psalms 37, 23, and 24, which talks about humility. So it says, "The steps of a man are established by the Lord. When he delights in his way, though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong. For the Lord upholds his hand." Now ultimately, this verse is showing how we can find comfort in the Lord. During this stressful time in our life, we oftentimes feel like we can't find comfort. We have too much going on. We don't have enough time. We can't find comfort in the Lord. That's on the back of our mind. It doesn't matter. But we can see later on in Psalms 145:14, which will also be up on the screen, it says, "The Lord upholds all who are falling and raises up all who are bowed down." Now, did you guys hear that? Let me repeat that for you guys. The Lord upholds all who are falling and raises up all who are bowed down. Now, while this verse is emphasizing God's grace towards humanity, I thought we should bring up dedication. So even though God knows that we're dedicated to so many different things, he knows that we're inevitably going to mess up. And he's going to be right there to help pick up those plates. He's going to be right there to help pick those up. Now, there are numerous times in the Bible that we can see people who have made mistakes, but God is right there with them. We can see King David when he stole that wife, and then we can also see the death of her husband later on. We can also see Moses when he killed the Egyptian in Exodus chapter 2. There's also Peter denying Jesus not one, not twice, but 3 times. And then there's also Jonah refusing to preach to the people of Nineveh. Now, with all of this said, and finding comfort in the Lord, and how we're so dedicated to different things, and ultimately, the main point of failure being fine, I thought I'd bring a story of myself, because yeah, why not? So for me, I'm a yes man. I love saying yes to new things. It's based off of a movie called Yes Man, where this guy doesn't really like to say yes to things. He just goes through his normal habits and does whatever. But he starts saying yes to new things and gets new opportunities and new experiences. So I've embraced that. But oftentimes, that comes to the detriment of myself. I say yes and become too dedicated to too many different things. Now I remember once last semester, I said yes to too many different things. I was on a Thursday. My mom was like, yo, let's go hang out, pull up to the house. We'll just go get some dinner. I was like, okay. And then my boss was like, hey, I need you to go buy some stuff for an event that we're having next week. And on top of all of that, I got homework. I got my apartment that wants to hang out. And I have so many other things. And I end up saying yes to hanging out with my mom and then hanging out with my friends. And I say yes to too many different things. Now what happens is that I say yes to all these things and I go through that. And then when I get back home and I'm trying to do all this homework, I can't be focused. I got not enough time. And it's because I'm dedicated to too many different things. And so seemingly, I drop that plate. I drop all of those plates of hanging out with friends and doing this. I let everybody down because I'm dedicated to too many different things. Now, even though each one of you might not have the same story as myself, we have all seemingly had a time where we have dropped a plate and it has shattered in front of us or just fallen on the ground. But we can all agree that dedication is hard work and takes a lot of focus. I mean, if we remember what the photos looked like, that guy was sweating up a storm, he was blushing, he was so much work that he had put in. Now, the second point that I have is dedication is hard work and takes a lot of focus. Now, like I said, I'm an intern for Youth for Christ, so that means I work at 2 different teen centers. I get to hang out with kids. And you guys might be thinking, hanging out with kids is like the easiest thing ever. You just get to eat snacks all day. I mean, that's true, I eat snacks all day, but I also have a lot of stuff that I'm responsible for. And I remember just 2 weeks ago, I have this kid who goes, hey Blair, let's go shoot some hoops. I'm like, all right, bet. I don't know how to shoot hoops, but I'll go with you. I'll embarrass myself in front of you. So I go there, and I'm shooting hoops with this kid named Diego. And then sooner or later, I have a kid named Augustine walk up to me and go, hey, can you teach Jenny how to shoot hoops? So I say yes to that. So I'm not only shooting my own hoops, but I'm helping Jenny shoot hoops. And I don't even know how to shoot hoops. And on top of all of that, I have another girl walk up to me and go, hey Blair, can we jump rope? And like, doesn't even say anything. She just gives me the jump rope and says, we're gonna go jump rope right now. So now I'm holding this, trying to make sure that she doesn't eat like crap and just fall on the ground. So I'm trying to jump rope this chick on top of shooting a basket, on top of teaching a girl to shoot a basket. And then on top of all of that, this girl goes, hey Blair, I'm gonna go run across the street real quick, there's a ball. So now I'm trying to make sure this girl doesn't get hit by a car or anything, teaching this girl how to shoot a basket, shooting my own baskets, and teaching this girl how to jump rope. That is a lot of work. And I'm getting pulled in so many different directions, and I am trying to build a relationship with all of those kids, and it's crazy. And now, that might not be you, but we're all spinning our own plates. No matter what it is, we all have some plate that we're spinning. And as we continue to go through life, we add more plates onto the sticks. And as we add more plates onto these sticks, oftentimes we worry about how we're going to keep those plates spinning. Or how am I going to keep spinning those plates while trying to pick up this red plate that dropped on the ground, while trying to spin all the plates. Now, I want to read another verse for you. This comes out of Colossians 3:2. It should be on the screen. And it says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. This is what we should be doing. We should be continuing to set our minds on the things above. And as we go into the next verse I provided, which is Proverbs 16:3, it says, Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Now, that can mean so many different things for so many different people. But no matter what plate you're spinning or what you're doing, we should be committing that work or that dedication to the Lord. Now, that looks different for everybody. For me, that involves me working with at-risk teenagers and elementary school kids. But for you, that plate might be different. For some, it might be working at a summer camp this summer. Could be Hume Lake, could be any other place. It could be bagging groceries. It could be doing any other thing down the road. But I want to challenge you guys to be dedicated to the Lord, even when you have so many plates spinning around you, and as you seemingly have plates drop on the ground. Now, the sermon was titled The 16th Second. And you guys might be wondering, what in the world does that mean? So the 15 seconds leading up to the 16th second is what we like to call Jessup. So as we finish our last final, and for some of us, as we walk across that stage and we hear people cheering for us and clapping for us, saying, yeah, you did it. You got that degree. That might feel awesome. And as we're taking in all of this applause and as we're taking in everything, I mean, we worked hard for that goal. We sacrificed for it. Could be our sleep schedule, could be relationships with those around me, could be time. No matter what it is, we've sacrificed for that. It also could be we stressed for that goal. Those 15 seconds of being on top of all of the accomplishments that we have done. But there must come a 16th second. And that 16th second oftentimes accompanies with the words, what's next? Now, I challenge all of you, including myself, to remember that when we're committed to a task or purpose, or when we're dedicated to something, whether that's at Jessup or anywhere else, could be our work, could be our relationships with those around us, it's going to be hard work. And I think we all know that already. But seemingly during this hard work, as we're spinning those plates around us, and as they drop in front of us, failure is okay. And when we have those plates shatter in front of us and we feel like we just can't keep going because I got so much on my plate, haha, funny joke. So we have so much on this plate as we have so much we need to do. I want us to continue to remember that God is going to be there for us. Psalms 145 talks about that. The Lord upholds all who are falling and raises up all who are bowed down. Now, with all of this being said, I want to finish off with one more verse. Now, this is Isaiah 41:10, and we can read it on the screen, and it says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you in my righteous right hand." Now, as we're going through life and we're going to be fearful about new situations and we're going to drop our plate, I challenge all of us to remember this verse throughout our dedications, to remember this verse. And now everybody bow your heads with me. Lord, I pray that during this time that I was able to just speak, that while all this time that we have and all the dedications that we have, whether it be sports or any other activity, Lord, that we can commit that task to you, and that even when we drop that plate and it shatters in front of us, Lord, that we can continue to rely on you and continue to focus on you, Lord, that during this dedication, that we already know it's going to be hard work and it's going to be hard, but we can continue to focus on you and continue to strive towards a more intimate relationship with you, Lord. I pray for this in your name. Amen.